Throughout this series, we have been pulling apart everything you thought you knew about reflux and heartburn, the food myths, the stomach acid story, the protocols that keep people stuck. And today, in our final episode of this summer podcast series, we are talking about what it actually takes to move forward and what's available to you when you're ready to stop going in circles and start healing for real. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Stomach Solution, the podcast for all you high achievers out there who are tired of managing your reflux, heartburn, and stomach pain and are ready for a solution that lasts. I'm Jessica Washington, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and former reflux sufferer myself, so I know firsthand what it feels like to do everything right and still feel like your stomach is working against you. So if you're ready to dig into your symptoms, hidden root causes, the ones that diet changes and supplements just won't touch, get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's uncover the solution to your stomach issues together. And as a reminder, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a replacement for medical advice or treatment. Over the course of this series, we've talked about something that many people with reflux and heartburn quietly struggle with. The fact that these symptoms often persist for years, even when you are doing everything you've been told to do. Even when you're the kind of person who shows up, follows through, and tries to do everything right, even while juggling your family, your home, and everything else on your plate. We've explored some of the deeper drivers behind reflux and stomach irritation. We've talked about the misconceptions that keep most people stuck. And we've looked at what actually needs to happen inside your body for your stomach to heal and for digestion to become stable again. So, in this final episode, I want to talk about what the next step looks like if you're ready to move beyond managing symptoms and start addressing the deeper causes of your reflux and stomach issues. If you think back to the beginning of this series, one of the biggest themes we discussed is that reflux and stomach symptoms are rarely caused by just one thing. They're usually the result of several underlying factors all working together. Things like infections that irritate your stomach lining, poor digestive enzyme production, microbiome imbalances, mineral deficiencies that affect stomach acid production, slow motility or constipation, or nervous system stress that interferes with your body's ability to actually digest. And when those factors aren't identified, you end up stuck in a cycle of managing symptoms instead of actually resolving them. You try different diets, different supplements, different protocols, but without clarity about what's actually driving your symptoms, it's very easy to end up going in circles. And when you already are carrying the mental load of managing an entire family, that cycle isn't just frustrating, it's downright exhausting because it just becomes one more thing in your life you're trying to figure out on top of everything else. And that's why throughout this series, I've talked about my proven strategy to resolve reflux and heartburn symptoms, the stomach reset method. This is a structured approach that focuses on three key pieces of healing. First, identifying and addressing the underlying drivers of symptoms. Second, healing your stomach lining so digestion can stabilize. And third, building your body's resilience to stress so that your gut can function properly again. And when those pieces begin coming together, your stomach is finally able to do what it was designed to do: produce enough stomach acid, digest food well, and enable you to feel normal again. And really, to allow you to live your life without constantly worrying about your stomach, without having to think about it during every meal, every outing, or every moment you're trying to just be present with your family. One of the biggest challenges people face when trying to heal their stomach on their own is simply figuring out where to start. When you are knee deep in symptoms, it can feel so overwhelming to even know where to begin, so you just stay where you are, even though you know that that isn't the best place for you. And when you do try to venture out and try a new strategy without having clear information about what's happening inside your body, it's so easy to focus on the wrong problem, try protocols that aren't addressing the real issue, or spend months or even years experimenting with different diets and supplements without making clear progress. And if you're anything like most of the people that I work with, you are someone who likes to have a plan, who wants to do things well, and that lack of clarity and real direction can feel especially defeating because you're putting in effort but not getting the result that you expected. And this is where having guidance can make a huge difference. Instead of guessing, your healing process becomes investigative and targeted and actually moves you forward. Inside my one-on-one coaching programs, we look at functional lab testing, symptom patterns, and lifestyle factors to identify the drivers that are actually influencing your digestion and causing your symptoms. And once those drivers become clear, we create a step-by-step plan of action for actually addressing them for good. The people who tend to benefit most from working with me are those who are ready for a different kind of approach. Maybe you've been trying things on your own. You've made changes to your diet, experimented with supplements, or followed advice you found online. But you're starting to realize that you don't actually know what's causing your symptoms and that you're just going in circles, not really making any progress towards lasting relief. Or maybe you've already tried a lot of different things, and despite your best efforts, you still feel like something is missing. What both of these experiences have in common is that you just want to understand what's actually happening in your body, and you're ready to move beyond trial and error and start focusing on real, lasting healing. You're ready to stop second guessing yourself and finally have a clear direction that actually works. Inside my one-on-one coaching programs, we work through the stomach reset method together. That includes identifying the underlying drivers behind your symptoms through functional lab testing and investigative work, creating personalized plans to calm stomach irritation and improve digestion, restoring key nutrients and digestive processes that support stomach acid production and gut function, and helping your nervous system shift into a state where digestion and healing can actually occur. Instead of trying to piece together solutions on your own, you will now have a clear structure and the support of an expert every step of the way. That way, you don't have to keep carrying this on your own while also taking care of everything else. And what my clients ultimately gain from this process is more than just symptom relief. They regain the ability to eat meals without worrying about what will happen afterwards. They travel and socialize again without planning everything around their stomach. They are able to trust their body again. And probably most importantly, their life stops revolving around managing their symptoms. They are now in control of their stomach no longer controls them, which means they can show up more fully in their life as a mom, as a wife, and as themselves. If you have been listening to this series and thinking, I have been doing all of the right things, I am trying so hard, and I just haven't been able to find lasting relief, then working together is your best next step to get you off this crazy symptom roller coaster and move forward in your healing with confidence. If you'd like help identifying the deeper drivers behind your symptoms and creating a clear plan for healing your stomach, I invite you to schedule a strategy session with me. In this session, we will go over your symptoms and what you've already tried that hasn't been working. I'll then outline a plan, the functional lab testing, and what our time together will look like so that you can finally get the symptom relief and the plan to get there that you have been looking for. To schedule your session with me, just head to theguthealingninja.com/coaching, where you can learn more about my coaching programs and get started. Because healing your stomach doesn't require perfection. It requires clarity about what's actually happening inside your body and a process for addressing those factors in the right order. And when that happens, you will discover that your digestive system is far more capable of healing than you probably ever realized. So, if you are ready to take that next step, I would love to support you in that process. And I will just leave you with this. We have spent so much time together digging into the real causes and the big misconceptions and big mistakes that happen around reflux and heartburn healing, and I just want you to know that healing and lasting relief is possible for you. I am living proof that you don't have to stay stuck with reflux and heartburn forever. So, thank you so much for being here and for making it all the way through the series. I hope it was encouraging and helpful for you and just enabled you to shift your mindset around healing and your body and what it requires to get lasting relief. So, that is all I have for you in this series. But if you have any questions or if you want to talk things through, please schedule that strategy session or reach out to me via email at jess@theguthealingninja.com. I'm happy to chat things over with you. Thank you so much for tuning into the Stomach Solution. If you got something valuable out of today's episode, please subscribe to the show and leave a rating and review wherever you're listening. It takes about 30 seconds and makes a huge difference in helping this show reach the people who need it the most. And if you're ready to dig even deeper into what's going on with your gut, come find me on Instagram at The Gut Healing Ninja or head to theguthealingninja.com to get more resources and strategies to help you heal. And remember, there is a solution to your stomach issues and we will find it together.